Hey everybody, and welcome back to FSi DFS. I'm McKinley412, and we're looking at this small four-game slate. A little bit of rain in Pittsburgh that we might have to be monitoring as we get closer to lock. And lock is early. It's a 6:35 start Eastern time, so it's going to be starting half an hour sooner than most main slates. So do keep an eye on that. Pitching, not too exciting, obviously. On a four-game slate, it's tough to really get super excited with a lot of pitching options. And bats, I think one team sticks out. It's Atlanta. Spoiler, you probably already knew that just by looking at the teams and the pitchers and everything. But yeah, so let's just kind of dive in. It was kind of tough to separate. Well, not tough, but like the salaries are so extreme in differences. Don't go with like high, mid, cheap, all that. I just kind of like grouped them up into kind of where I want. Gossman, I think he's probably your top pitcher on the slate. He's got the highest upside on the slate. He's going up against the Yankees, a terrifying offense at times, but they can strike out from time to time. He's faced them twice so far this season. He's averaging 27 DK points in each of them. He got 30 DK points here. He went 7 innings, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts. That's kind of when New York was like doing nothing and they were in free fall mode. And we're like, what is going on with New York? But earlier on the season, he faced them. He still went 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts. So, he's certainly got that strikeout upside. He's probably got a higher ceiling than anybody else on this entire slate. So even at 10.3K, I think you can easily fit him in there. Just because, you're probably not going to be pairing him with Severino, so you're already down to a cheaper pitcher. And there's a lot of, I think, value on this slate that you could be turning towards. So I think Osman is my favorite. Elder, he'll be my second favorite on this slate, going up against Washington. Higher strikeout guy, he's got the higher strikeout rate. He's got a ceiling. We saw the ceiling at 10 when he faced Miami. His last time out, faced Washington, the same Washington team. He went 5.2 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 18 DK points. 8.4K, you got a price increase. Am I super excited about it? Not a whole lot, but there's not a lot to work with on this slate. Take the name off, take whoever off, whatever you want. 8.4K for a pitcher who's going to get you 90 to 100 pitches against one of the worst offenses in the league with a higher strikeout rate. I think I would sign up for that, hands down. So I think Elder will probably be my second favorite pitcher on this entire slate, followed by Severino. Severino, 10K price tag. It's fine. He's going up against Toronto as a right-hander, which is kind of scary. It's just, I don't know. Toronto's a high offense team. And yeah, they strike out a bit, but not as much as the Yankees would be striking out. So the other thing is just kind of the pitch counts. He went, he's coming off of injury. I understand that. But 64 innings pitched in his first start back. Maybe he gets 75. Maybe they bump him up to like 85. But they've pretty much got everything locked up as far as playoffs go. So they're not really playing for too much here. It really all eyes are on Aaron Judge at this point. So that's kind of why I have Severino ranked below Gossman and below Elder. Is he a fine play? Okay, sure. I get it. Like there's nothing else to like on this slate. But yeah, I rank him third. Going down a little bit lower, Contreras and Anderson facing off against each other in the same game. Again, I mentioned there might be a little bit of rain. So if there looks like there might be a delay in this game, obviously fade these pitchers if he's expecting like a 3rd-inning delay. But yeah, Contreras, he's got solid strikeout upside. He's kind of like Elder in that regard. He's going up against a pretty poor offense in everything considered against Cincinnati. But still, he can struggle. His floor can be weak at certain times, but I think given like the weakness of all the pitchers on the slate, I might even slide him ahead of Severino, to be completely honest with you. I really think I might slide him in ahead of Severino, just to be completely honest. Going up against Cincinnati, higher strikeout upside, 3K discount. With that discount, you can throw in as many Atlanta stacks as you want. Chase Anderson on the other side of that, 6.3K, going up against a weak Pittsburgh offense. Do I like Chase Anderson as a pitcher? Nope. But, has he performed pretty decently? Yeah, he really has. 1 earned run, 2 earned runs or fewer in 5 of his past 5 starts. Pretty good. Now he's got Pittsburgh. He's only 6.3K. Sure, go for it. If it was a 15-game slate, I probably wouldn't be touching this at all. But I think on this short 4-game slate, totally fine. Abbott and Lyles, I don't want to touch any of it. I know Lyles had an amazing start out last time out, 35 DK points, a full game, but it was Detroit, and he's a right-handed pitcher. If you've watched these videos, target the righties against Detroit. Look what happens. It's amazing. Anybody can look like Cy Young at any point against Detroit as a right-handed pitcher. So that's kind of how the pitching's ranking out. It'd be Gossman, Elder, and then probably Contreras, honestly, and then choose between Severino and Anderson. Seabold would be last on that list. So I already mentioned Atlanta's the stack that you're going to want to be going towards for sure. So you throw in Gossman. It's going to be a little bit tighter on salary, but you can certainly do it. Riley, Swanson, those would be the first two. Contreras, maybe not Swanson. Yeah, we'll throw Swanson. We'll take Swanson out. Riley Harris, if he's in a nice spot, we definitely want to be targeting him again. Olsen, nice lefty-righty matchup. Grossman, if he's in, he's viable as a switcher. Rosario, he's been hitting the ball pretty well here as of late. 2.5K, nice lefty-righty matchup. You could throw him in there as well. Let's just do it. Let's just throw in Swanson and see what happens with our salary. We already got Gossman up at the top, so if we go down to Elder, we get 2.8K remaining. It's a little bit tight, but maybe you get off of Gossman and you don't want any of the pitchers in this Yankees-Toronto game because you think both these offenses, they have power and they have a ceiling. Either of these two guys could struggle. So maybe you go with Elder and you go down to Contreras. 3.7K remaining with a full Atlanta stack. Looks pretty good to me. Maybe you take out Swanson. If Acuna's back, maybe you throw in Acuna. I think Judge is kind of hard to pass at this point. That he is gunning for a home run. Maybe it's affecting his swing a little bit. He's kind of in a little bit of a slump. He's striking out more than usual. But still, maybe getting away from that Yankees crowd, cheering him on. I'm not saying that Toronto's not going to cheer him on. The true baseball fans probably are cheering him on. I can see our people booing him. But yeah, I think Judge at 6.4K is totally viable. But yeah, you can easily throw an Atlanta stack. They are clear cut above the rest. There's now no offense that's even close to them in terms of DFS upside here tonight. But yeah, so there's a big gap. Below them, I actually like Baltimore. I think Baltimore might be my second favorite stack on this entire slate. Rushman at 4.7K. Love him. Think he's a fantastic play. Man, what a fun kid he's player he's going to be to watch for the next decade plus. I think he's going to be fantastic. So Rushman, Mountcastle, and then you can throw in Santander or Mullins if you want, but then even after that, you're down to super cheap guys. So this would be a stack that you could throw in maybe some cheap guys with Atlanta and even get up to a guy like Gossman if you really want to. On the other side of things, Boston going up against Lyles. Lyles is a bit of a fly ball pitcher. So maybe you want to go, GPP more with this Boston stack, hoping that they can launch 3, maybe even 4 home runs throughout their lineup. Devers, he's going to be the first guy they're going to be throwing out there. Verdugo would probably be next. And that's kind of filling it in. We all know what JD Martinez is capable of, Xander Bogaerts for sure. And you can see they're pretty pricey. They're kind of similar on the Atlanta salary price tags. So again, maybe this is more of the GPP tag for you guys. Just because they have the home run upside with a fly ball pitcher in a small ballpark like Fenway, and they're similarly priced to the ultra mega chalk of Atlanta on this slate. It's 4 games. You got to be different. You got to figure out how you're going to be different on this slate. Maybe I don't want to go top in GPP just because it's only 4 games. Boston, I think, is a fantastic GPP. Toronto, after that, going up against Severino. Like I said, Severino, who knows how deep he's going to go into the game. He's still kind of fresh off of injury. He's only second start in. So, maybe they get to that Yankees bullpen a little bit earlier. GPP, the Yankees, we all know what their upside can be. Going up against Gossman, I don't think a lot of people are going to be playing the Yankees just because they're going up against the one kind of true ace on this slate. And yeah, similarly priced to Atlanta. I think both those things considered, Yankees ownership is going to plummet. But hey, you never know. It is the Yankees. They're capable of getting 10 runs any given night just because of how good their offense is. Maybe Gossman has a blow-up kind of night. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, just cheap plays all around. They could be one-offs that you could be targeting. But yeah, it's just a lot of cheap plays. Reynolds is a little bit more expensive, but after that, 3.8K and below for everybody else. Fraley, 3.5K. Friedel, 3.6. Probably be one of the guys I'd be more interested in if you were going with a one-off. But yeah, and two kind of poorish pitchers against two poorish offenses. How do you think this game's going to go? Is it going to shoot out? Is it not? Remains to be seen. And then Washington just kind of like rounds things out. So that kind of covers the slate. It's pretty ugly. It's only 4 games, so be different. Be different with your lineups because you're gonna have to be real different if you want to separate yourself on such a small slate. So as always, good luck in your contest. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.